Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, we start with the Knight of Swords. You're somebody that likes to plan, you know. You like to have the foresight. You like to sort of, you like to map out things, you know. I feel like usually you're not like this. I feel like usually you're just kind of spontaneous, just kind of whatever happens, take it as it comes. But I feel like right now you're really in the planning, like you're trying to map everything out. You're trying to figure out your route, right, to your destination. That's what this card is about. This is kind of a Libra energy. It is a Libra power card. This is a card of wanting to sort of streamline our decision-making process. If we have the goal and we have the map to the goal, it sort of takes away a lot of the guesswork, right? That we want to plan things out ahead of time, so that when we get to certain milestones or certain landmarks, we'll know where we are, we'll know which way to go, and things should run smoother, right? So I feel that this is us planning out our progress. Well, this is, in a week I want to be here, in 6 months I want to be here, a year, this, and, working our way up. And I think that's perfect. I think we set those milestones so that we have something to strive for. You have this long-term goal that's open-ended, okay? Like when I started this channel. I said, I just want to have a tarot channel. I have no particular goal in mind. I just want to keep going and keep making progress. I don't have the goal. I want to have 1 million subscribers. I don't think that'll ever happen. But, I didn't set a long-term goal like that, just that I want this to be kind of an open-ended, ongoing thing. I want to be able to do it for as long as I can. But I set some particular landmarks. I said by the second year I want to have 100, or by my birthday, the second year of the channel, my birthday's in July. I'm a Cancer, not a Leo. I'm right on the cusp. But, I said, well, after a couple years, then on my birthday, I want to get up to 100,000 subscribers, and then I said, well, I want to do at least another 50,000 subscribers the year after that. And so we set these milestones, okay? We have to put this card into a little bit of context for you, because I'm getting the feeling that your milestones are going to come, oh, there's the Magician, that your milestones are going to come a lot faster than you think. Like it feels like the timeline is really speeding up. We have the 8 of Swords. We have a 9 of Pentacles, a 7 of Pentacles. But yeah, look at that, swiftness, the 8 of Wands. This is the card of things accelerating. This is the card of, fireworks. This is the card of like rapid succession. So I think that whatever milestones you have right now, whatever landmarks you're looking to see, or, wherever you thought you would be in, let's say 6 months, I feel like you're going to achieve that in like 1 or 2 months. So I feel like things are speeding up. The timeline is speeding up for you. Yeah. Let's keep going over here. We've got the 4. Yeah. See, that's the 4 of Wands is sort of like we're on these cycles where we have these incremental goals, right? These short-term and medium-term goals that sort of are leading us in a particular direction. I don't think you have a finite goal that says, 1 million subscribers, that's like my lifetime goal, right? I mean, maybe we can say that's it, but it's not like I'm going to quit when I get 1 million, I think it'll happen one day. But it's sort of open-ended, which means you're going to get 1 million. Okay, we're going to go for 2. Yeah. And so that's sort of over here with our 9 of Pentacles. But anyway, that's the sort of cycles here where we reach one of the milestones, we check something off our list, and then we're automatically working toward the next one. These are the short and medium-term goals. We have a Prince of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles. And we have a Knight of Wands. So I feel like you are accelerating in order to keep the pace with what's happening around you. So I don't know if this is your business. Feels like there is some sort of a financial or business aspect to your life right now. Maybe you're retired, and that's okay. Maybe you're in school, that's okay. Maybe you have a job or your career, whatever it is. I feel like your work, what you're putting your effort into every day, what you're burning calories doing every day, right? And it feels like there's some sort of monetary exchange happening too. It's going to happen a lot faster for you, okay? And we got to trust that. We've got to. Well, by the end of it, we have to be willing to ride faster. When the environment is changing very quickly, we kind of have to step up and step on the gas a little bit in order to keep the pace. Okay, so things are going to get a little bit more. Maybe we'll feel it as a little bit of not anxiety so much, but like just kind of a frenetic energy. It's going to be a lot more to do, but I think it's going to be, we're just trying to keep the pace with the progress around us, okay? So I feel like you're on a quest, and I feel that quest is, it's one that you've chosen, right? You've chosen it with intent. I think it is a path, it's a journey that you're on, and I think that there are, like I said, there are steps. It's structured in some way. You're following certain steps. Maybe this is kind of saying, like, especially these two with the Magician card, maybe it feels like we're sort of doing things in a very systematic and very organized way, that there is a structure, there is a ritual to it. And with that, we sort of feel that there's a rhythm, that there's a pace. But now what happens, like, it's starting to go faster and faster and faster, and we've got to sort of manage that. Okay. Let's select the mystery card. Bonus card. Confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And maybe right there. We'll put our little sea turtle friend right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. All right. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put that prediction in the comments. Okay? Let's use our intuition. Now, as we look around the room, we see but one major arcana card, and it is the Magician. You are the Magician. And it's really time for you to be flexible and adaptable and sort of utilize that neuroplasticity, utilize your ability to adapt and sort of kind of like acclimate to the environment a little bit, because I think things are happening a lot faster, and you've got to sort of mold yourself into that situation, right? And that's the thing with the Magician, is that it's very adaptable. And it's kind of like saying, okay, well, if things start moving in a new way, I know that I'm capable of moving that way too, of becoming what I need to become. We can shift. We can produce the tools we need. We can learn the skills that we need to learn. We can pick up the pace a little bit, It's kind of like you're on the treadmill, and right now we're just walking, but the belt's starting to go faster. Uh-oh. What do we do? I'm walking. I'm on my carpet. We either keep doing what we're doing, and then what? We fall off the treadmill. And that hurts. Or we just start moving our feet faster. And pretty soon we're in a jog. And pretty soon we're sprinting, I don't know exactly what is accelerating things. I feel like the growth was just, the growth was kind of unexpected. I feel like something is happening, whether this is a physical health or a financial goal or a relationship thing or something at work, or I feel like the timeline has sped up. And maybe it's just because you've been doing such a good job that, there's a lot more quickly. And so we have to move our feet faster to keep up with the pace. Okay, but this is your ability to do that, because you're the Magician. You can stretch and mold and form yourself into what you need to be in order to maintain this. Okay, I think what you're worried about up here is that Seven of Pentacles. We're worried that it's going to be a failure. I think with the 7 and the 8 here, especially the 8 of Swords, we're kind of doubting ourselves a little bit. I think maybe there's a couple things going on, especially with the 8. This is the 8 of Swords. It's interference. It's self-sabotage. I feel that first of all, as things start happening more quickly for you and your success is coming at a more rapid pace, I think there's almost this belief that it's not supposed to happen that way. Or that there's almost a disbelief that it's real. Okay, and this is kind of like we're resisting that progress, and I think part of it is that we're thinking, I'm not doing that good of a job. Why is everything happening so quickly? It must be a mistake. It must be wrong. Because we're kind of looking at things like a Seven of Pentacles, right? Failure, and maybe you're kind of feeling like I'm not doing all that much. I'm not doing that great. Like why is everything succeeding? Why is everything working in my favor so much? Because I'm doing a poor job. So it doesn't make sense. There's some kind of dissonance there. But I think also as things start to speed up, you're going to be doubting your own abilities. And I think that is really what you need to overcome right now, because you can keep the pace. You can move faster to get to keep up with this. Okay? And I don't think it's like a physical thing where you're going to have to literally like start moving your body faster. You know, I think it's just merely about you, like really mentally and emotionally too, adapting to the speed at which your success is arriving. That's a very good problem to have, right? But we have to get over this idea of I'm not worth it. I'm not capable. I'm doing a poor job. So this isn't for me. I'm not going to embrace this. Or there's some other thing that's causing resistance to this for you. That maybe it's I don't know, it could be a stubbornness, right? But I feel like it has something to do with your self-perception. And this is going to end up sabotaging the success. Okay? I don't know if there's a little bit of fear. Maybe there's a fear when we talk about the Seven of Pentacles as well, that idea of failure. Maybe we're worried that things start really taking off and things seem successful. Now it's even more crucial that I can maintain this. So now I start to doubt, oh no, am I like capable of not letting everybody down? Am I capable of handling this kind of success? Because now it's even more important that you can that you sort of it's demanding more of you, right? And so it's more important for you to stay sort of on the ball. Okay, so maybe there's this idea where we're sort of worried we're going to let people down. You know, we're worried that there are so many more responsibilities on us, so there's so many more opportunities to fail. And when we're looking at it that way, boom, these two creates sabotage, creates, we end up tripping ourselves. We end up tying our own shoelaces together on the treadmill and we fall off. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay? As we look in the background, sort of yesterday's energy, we see a Nine of Pentacles. I think Nine of Pentacles is, first of all, the pace that you were used to. This is kind of like things were going, things were growing, we were gaining. This is the card of visible signs of progress. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles. It's a function. Things were functioning well. Things were working, well, that's reflected in the Four of Wands as well, right? That we kind of like the pace that we're on now. Of course, it's kind of like now we're doubling the pace with the Eight, right? From a Four to an Eight of Wands. I think this is also revealing the open-ended nature of your goals, right? That we, for any kind of a business, right? We have goals. We have long-term goals. Yeah, I'd like to get 1 million subscribers one day. That'd be the goal. That'd be the big goal, right? Because I don't see many tarot channels with 1 million. At least I haven't come across them yet. And it would be cool to do that, to reach that milestone, right? And so it gives us something in the long distance to sort of aspire to, but that's not the end, right? So this is a 9, it's a function, it's a verb. It's an odd number. It's not a 10. It's not saying there's a particular number I want to reach, and once I do, I'm out. It's not like that. It's not like, I don't know, Godfather 3 or something. It's open-ended. In any kind of a business, it's like, I just want it to keep going for as long as possible. And then when I'm done, maybe pass the torch to somebody else. In any kind of a business, I feel like that's sort of the vibe. We're gonna reach a certain size of the business, and then we're just gonna shut the doors. And we're gonna keep going, and then once we hit 1 million, we're gonna need some more long-term goals, right? And so this is the open-endedness of our path right now. We're not putting a cap on anything. There is no limit to what we're going to achieve and what success we want to have in our life. This is also the idea that we need the incremental goals. We need the short and medium term so that we can gauge our progress. If I say, okay, I want to get 1 million subscribers, in the next 10 years, then I don't have anything to really look at for 10 years. And I just have to set my watch 10 years from now and see where I'm at, right? So we set up the short-term goals. So I say, well, maybe in a year, I'd like to get to like 50K or 100K in a couple of years. That was my original plan. And so that way in 6 months or a year, I can say, yeah, I did it, or I didn't quite do it. Or maybe we got way more than what we thought, right? So it gives us a way of gauging our progress, measuring our progress, but it also gives us that motivation that says, okay, you know what? I've achieved over what my projected or desired goal was. So that motivates me now to keep going. So wow, okay, it is actually possible. There's something here, right? And so we start picking up speed as well. And even if we say, I fell a little bit short of that 6-month or that 1 year goal, maybe now I think, okay, I need to make some changes. I need to work harder. I need to readjust things. How can I figure out what else to do? And that's really leading into our magician card, because this is that adaptability. When things are low, we work harder to bring them up. When things are way, 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 way up, we work harder to push them even further. When business is good, you don't reduce your hours, and you don't, sort of sell less products at your store or whatever. You don't you don't fire a bunch of people and reduce it. No, you hire more people. You stay open 24 hours a day because business is good, and you want to take advantage, right? You want to strike while the iron is hot. Get while the getting's good, as they say. But when business is slow, well, you're going to work harder in other ways, but you're not going to work less hard in either scenario. You know what I mean? So this is us then being able to adapt and understand where we are and how much effort we need to put in order to capitalize on the big crest of the wave, or how to get ourselves out of the trough. And this is the magician. That's our ability right there. The 8 of Wands in the future position, this is a swiftness. I think that things are happening, much quicker than we anticipated. Okay. This is the card of, I think, a lot of ideas. And I think that this is really the magician having to be in a lot of places at once. Okay. And I don't know exactly what you're doing. I don't know if this is a business or if this is something else for you. But it feels like your attention is going to be drawn into many different areas. And we've got to be able to multitasking really is the deal here. It's also getting creative. Getting real creative, especially if you're doing way better than you thought you were going to be at this time, right? That we've overshot the goal. We've gotten way more than we thought we were going to get. This is you getting creative about how to capitalize on it, how to keep that momentum going, how to build upon that success. Okay. Now, if it was the other way, if we were going a little bit lower than what we go, like say, well, we wanted 100,000 subscribers after 2 years, man, we only had 75. We're not going to get discouraged. What we're going to do is we're going to put more pressure on ourselves. We're going to figure out creative ways to sustain ourselves at that low point, and to push things even. We have to innovate, push things higher, right? We've got to get creative in that way. I think for you, this is the realization that things are a lot better than you thought they were. And now you have an opportunity to really kind of branch out a little bit, or to get creative, or to improvise, to experiment, to try new things, to keep the ball rolling, to keep it building momentum. Okay. Now, on the path of the serpent, we see that 4 of Wands, which is the milestones, right? The cycles. We're completing these goals. And I feel like this is your human timetable sort of spinning faster and faster and faster. It's like you're looking at your watch, and instead of just a slow tick, it's like it's starting to move faster now, and it's starting to go around way faster. And so it feels like things are speeding up. It feels like you're reaching all of those milestones a lot faster than you anticipated. So what do you have to do? You got to make more short-term, medium-term goals. You got to set, otherwise you're going to run out. right? So we have to keep this momentum going. We have to say, okay, well, I'm already here. So let's say in 6 months, let's hit that really high number over there. Let's do that in 6 months. Come on, people, It's kind of like, I don't know, it's any kind of a corporate job, I guess. Reminds me of an episode of The Office where Robert California was telling Andy, sales have to be up by 20% this quarter. But Andy's like, but we just had such an awesome quarter. Last quarter was amazing. We sold more paper than we ever sold before. And Robert California said, exactly. And now you're going to sell even more than that. So let's keep it going. It's the same idea from The Office. If you haven't seen the show, you should watch it. It's so good. Anyway, the milestones, the goals, the cyclic nature of things. And this is the card of human timing. This is the card of like the timetable that we have, and that's that steady pace that we were on, and now it feels like the wheel's turning faster and faster. Okay, it's very important for you to stay authentic, though, to yourself. Here's the Prince of Cups in the position of your relationships. I feel like people trust you. People like you. People can see that you are like what you are. I feel like you have a few relationships in your life where you're able to really truly be yourself, be all facets of yourself, right? There are some friends we have where we can be one of our persona, one of our masks. One version of ourself is kind of like, that's who I am with my grandma. One version of myself, that's how I am with my coworkers or my friends over here, other family members. They get sort of one or two versions of me. But you have a few people in your life where you can be all versions of yourself. Those are usually the romantic relationships or like the best friend kind of energy where you can be all of you because there's that safety, there's that sense of acceptance, and we feel that stability in the relationship where we can be fully ourselves. Every aspect of ourself is okay, and that's such a good feeling to have those relationships in your life. So I feel like you have at least one relationship like that, and this card being here in this position, I think, is really confirming that and advising you to cherish that relationship, and really, build upon that relationship that you have. Okay. In terms of your work or whatever this business sort of thing is that you're doing, I think this card is advising you to stay true to yourself. Don't compromise your vision or your authenticity. In this rapid progress that you're making now, don't lose sight of like your core essence. Don't lose your vibe. Make sure you kind of stay like on brand for yourself. Be true to who you are. I think that is crucial. Okay. The obstacle here is the Six of Pentacles. Well, the Six of Pentacles is the material success. So the obstacle, I think, is on the one hand, it's you believing that this is real or that you've earned it or that you deserve it. I think it's also you worried that you're going to let people down. Because with the Six of Pentacles, I kind of feel that there is a team around you or there are other people involved. It's a family thing, or it sort of feels like your efforts are feeding other people, whether these are your employees, coworkers that rely on you, or family members that you're literally feeding through your work, right? So it kind of is like the stakes are high, There's a lot at risk here. And I think that we start to get nervous when things start to really take off and really get successful because it says, like what if I lose it? What if I make a mistake? What if we get so high and so elevated and I do something ridiculous and I make a mistake and everything comes crashing down? Okay? So I feel like the pressure's really on. And, I think that essentially you thrive on that, but it still worries us because there are people that rely on us. This is the card of success, okay? And of course, we see the Knight of Wands at the end here. The double fire on fire. It's an Aries energy. This is someone who isn't hesitating. This is someone who is not letting their thoughts, their doubt, their second guessing, their nerves, their anxieties, their insecurities get in the way of what they need to do. This is somebody who is leaping into action, responding to this situation and trusting themselves. Spirit and matter, the horse and the rider, conscious and unconscious, our personality and our instinct, right, forged together in a unified sort of a unified motion. So this is you responding to the increase around you. This is you stepping up to the task and jumping in. Things are getting hectic. Things are getting busier. You're right in there doing what you need to do, taking care of business. Okay, so this is really, really good. And you got to trust yourself. You got to trust your authentic self. This is going to be good. Okay, let's look at our mystery card over here. I want to see some more good, well, maybe some good water energy would be nice, wouldn't it? But I kind of feel like it's going to be more earth energy. Yeah. If you have a prediction, remember, put it in the comments, okay? Let's see. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. You're getting a feel for this new tempo. Yeah, this is you getting a feel for the beat, because I feel like we got used to the slow beat. You know, we got used to the steady pace we were on, but now the tempo's changed, and we're trying to keep up with it. And this is you now. When it's kind of like you're in a band, right? And you're used to playing a song at a certain pace, but then suddenly the drummer starts playing faster, and you're like, what are you doing? Well, you're playing a show. You can't just stop and yell at the drummer. Everybody wants to yell at the drummer. You just start playing faster. Say, okay, well, I'm just going to play faster then, and maybe something cool sort of happens there, right? But if you doubt your ability, then you sort of put the guitar down and you say, wait a minute, drummer, what are you doing? You need to go back to drum lessons, But if you're confident in your abilities, you just start playing faster, and it turns into a wonderful like orchestra of music. And it's kind of like, you're getting a feel for the beat. You're getting a feel for the tempo, and you're doing what needs to be done. And I think this is also really the card of, it's double earth energy. So it's confirming that this has something to do with your physical progress in something. Feels like money. It feels like it's a financial thing, business or career or something along those lines. Things are going to happen. Maybe this is your side business or your side hustle. It's going to take off. Things are going to happen so quickly. Maybe it's going to replace your main hustle, But this is you now acclimating to it, getting used to it, and getting a feel for it, and getting comfortable in that groove. Yeah, this is really good. I'm excited. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Leo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.